Hey everybody, it's Alan Smith here for the Florida Antiquarian Book Fair. This is First Look. This is a book lover's opportunity to get a sampling of what they're going to see at the Florida Antiquarian Book Fair, which happens in April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And you're going to see all kinds of wonderful ephemera and books, rare books, collectible books, readable books, and from dealers from all over the country. And so we are sharing some of those. And one of the ways we're doing that is with this program, First Look. You'll also find First Look in photographs and captions on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and our blog. So let's get started here. With me today is Barbara Loe, who is the owner of Cardtique in Osprey, Florida. Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I am so excited about the coming up Florida Antiquarian Book Fair. And I know you have some exciting things that you're going to be bringing to the book fair. But before you get into those, I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
Am I correct when I say gaslight ephemera? Gaslight era ephemera?
Well, it's Gaslight era. That's no question about it. That's the Victorian age. And gaslight usually refers to a type of printing style where it shadows things. So like a gaslight shadowed things. And so you might see trim where or printing where it looks like it's casting a shadow. And so that's usually where I see that term referred to. I just refer to it as Victorian era ephemera.
Well, in any case, it's fascinating, and you always have some wonderful pieces. So, what can we expect to see at the book fair from you at the book fair in April?
Well, I'm really excited about this. The first thing I want to say is I am going up to the Ephemera Society Fair in Greenwich, Connecticut, the 18th through the 20th of March. So I have to have the caveat that anything I show you today could possibly be sold at that fair. But we're very excited about that. It's the first time the Ephemera Society's been together in person, just like our Antiquarian Book Fair for it'll be 3 years now. And so we're real excited about that. And I am bringing back a friend of mine who is a dealer from London. And she's going to be in the booth next to me at our fair.
At the Coliseum in St. Petersburg.
Right, at the Coliseum. So I am bringing a new dealer in ephemera, and her name is Valerie Jackson Harris. So she'll be there at the fair along with me. So we're real excited about doing this. And so I thought I would show you some different categories of ephemera that I'll have there. Those of you that watch on a regular basis know that I've talked about Valentines before. And so I'm just going to show you a few Valentines that I'm going to have. So this is what's called an Octavo. It's about 8 by 10. And I'm going to get in close so you can just see the detail work on that.
How beautiful.
Yeah, that is one of my newest acquisitions, and I just think it's lovely. Here's another one where I don't know if you can see the embossed Cupid.
Oh yeah.
And then this is all hand colored, hand painted. And then here's one that shows an example of the lace that they used to do. This is all paper lace, and again, all hand painted.
Oh my.
And then, because everybody loves movable stuff, so I'm going to show you a couple movable Valentines. So here's one that talks about the effects of brandy and shows what happened if you have a little too much.
Indeed.
And then here's another one where we've got a dandy who is around, and then that opens up and you can see the sign on his back. These are referred to as Vinegar Valentines because the sentiments are not necessarily pleasant and loving, but they're fun. So I'm going to move from there to some movable trade cards and show you some different examples. So here's one, and this is German. And when we move it, you can see she's moving her jug of drink. We'll just call it drink. We won't ascribe what kind of drink it is. And then here's a Christmas greeting. Let's make sure I've got it. So this is what the outside looks like. And here it was addressed to the person. And then you open it up.
Oh.
And you have this wonderful scene.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
They were just very, very creative. And then here's an example of a trade card for Schubert piano. And when you open it, you can see that the lady's arms move, as she's playing the piano. Huh. Here's a similar design for Banana Neutro, the king substitute for coffee. I'm not sure I'd want to be drinking that, and again, the arm moves to bring the coffee cup up to her lips. And then there's so many different categories of movable items. This is an example of a fan. It folds up, but on the back, when it's open, you can see the location of the store, which was Au Bon Marché in Paris. And then this, which I think is charming, is for Van Houten chocolate. And you're having a little tug of war over the chocolate and to see which team can get, let's get it up there, can get the chocolate. And they go back and forth. So, and on that note, then I'm going to move into some other types of trade cards. So here's another one for chocolate and cocoa. That was a huge category back in the Victorian era because people would buy coffee, tea, or chocolate, and every home had a chocolate pot and served chocolate. And so they were very creative about what they would do in terms of displaying the chocolates and, what happened there.
I knew there was a reason I was drawn to that era. It's the chocolate.
It's the chocolate, yeah. So then I brought a sampling of other trade cards just to show different styles. This is for Singer Company, and this is 1891. And you've got that image of the kind of the nymph on the crescent moon. And this is a folder and a calendar. And you can see the elaborate efforts that they went to advertise their products, because this, of course, was before we had offset press and could easily advertise in newspapers and magazines. Here's an example for the Novelty Printing Company that is trying to show you exactly what you could anticipate at Christmas time.
Oh my, wow.
Yeah. And of course, keep in mind with chromolithography, this probably had 14 plates because each color is a different plate. And then they'd have to line them up and register them so that all the colors lined up to make the picture. So when offset press came in, this kind of printing really went away because it was so labor intensive that it just wasn't practical anymore. But some of the images, you look at these and you say, that's 140 years old? And the answer is yes, it is.
Wow.
And then they were, it always cracked me up how they the way they did some products. This was for a movable bank. The card doesn't move, but the bank did. And you would put the coin in the dog's mouth. And then here's a couple. I always think these thread cards are fun because they want to show you how strong and wonderful their thread is. So here they're saying the thread is so strong that it can be used in the crane to lift these guys up to the next level. I'm not sure I'd be comfortable there, but yeah. And here the thread is so strong, it'll keep the bear away from you and save your life.
Gosh, you sure want that to work.
Yeah, you do. So I'm going to go on to another area, and I'm going to show you some things about tobacco. So this is still a trade card, but I love this. I love the whimsy of it. So here is the president of the Dorcas Society presenting the merits of Helm's snuff to the ladies while they are at their sewing circle. And, because you want to make sure that the ladies don't get ignored with the snuff as well. Not quite what we think of.
The only snuff using lady that I know of was in, I think he was Mammy Yoakum in Dog Patch.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's a kind of a different view of the ladies using snuff. And here are some cigar labels. And again, if you look at the printing quality, it's just incredible. I actually think that these cigar labels were the absolute epitome of this chromolithography. It was just so incredible. And so every different type of cigar had its own name, had its own logo, and then they would prepare these. And keep in mind, all of these were 14 different plates that they would have to make, one for each color. Here's the gentleman playing cards. And there are just hundreds and hundreds of these different kinds of cigar labels. And then this, I think, is kind of fun. Here's a store sign that would have been there, which is saying smoke Cuban whiffs, which is a type of cigarette kind of thing. A whiff was a smaller one. And this is from St. Paul, Minnesota. And again, the color and the detail is just exquisite. I don't know if I'm too close here.
No, that looks great.
Yeah. And then shifting gears, I'm going to show you a small sampling of tickets and invitations. And again, it doesn't matter what people want to collect. The ephemera is out there. So here's a ticket that is for the South Boston Railroad Relief Association. They were having a charity ball. And here's an actual ticket for the boat. The B and T. I'm sorry. Different canal boat. And this would have been 1841 that this ticket is from. And then I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. But it's just a different variety of tickets that were used for different things. This is a ticket to get a free Hires root beer at a fair. And here's a ticket that when you see a clipped corner on that, it means the ticket was used, because that's how they would tell if that ticket had been used. Here's one I particularly like. It's for the Camden and Atlantic Railroad, 1866. And here is an invitation for Fireman's Ball. And firemen were a big category. You would see that a lot. Here is the Fire Association of Philadelphia. And, you have to think back at that time. Everything was wood. And if a fire broke out, it was major. And so this is advertising fire hoses.
Chicago. We think
Yeah.
of Chicago fire.
Yeah, that was not a good event. And then I think I'll just finish up with showing you a really unique piece. This is a hair album, and it was very typical in the Victorian era to give a loved one or a friend a locket of your hair. And this is actually 34 different hair lockets and signatures from people. And this is the equivalent, earlier there were more, but some have gotten lost over the years. This was the equivalent of the high school yearbook. You know how we go around with the high school yearbook and have our friends sign it?
Sure.
And maybe write a little message? Well, this was their equivalent of that. So they would give a little hair sample, and you can see some braided it, some put a ribbon on, this is a guy. So it didn't matter whether you were a man or a woman, well, boy or girl, because this would have been in high school. And so this is, kind of the remembrance album from school that would have had all these different hair samples. And again, the thing about ephemera is it's so different in so many different ways. And that's what I think is kind of fun to explore and look at. And then finally, do I have another minute?
You have another minute.
Okay. I also have two little booklets that I have. This is Alice in pictures. And so this is taking the obvious Alice in Wonderland story and presenting it in a different format. And, so it just is, not the visual images that we're used to seeing, but, another interpretation on that. Here's another little booklet, The Good Child's New Primer. I'm kind of curious what the Bad Child's primer looked like, but you were thinking that too, right?
I was, yes. I figured that's what I would have gotten.
It's got the alphabet and, how to pronounce the different words and stuff like that. And so that's just a sampling of things that I'll have at the fair. And we're just so excited to be back in person. It's, and I think the Coliseum's missed us.
I am absolutely certain of it. The Coliseum has been crying out for us to revisit. I'm absolutely certain. Barbara, this has been a just delightful trip through time, and I'm sorry, but your mention of chocolate, I had to. So but
I completely understand.
And now, I realize that I found one place a long time ago. I found one place that served what they call drinking chocolate. Mm-hmm. It's not chocolate milk or hot chocolate. It's thicker, much thicker than that.
Yeah.
And so I've searched the world over for a dark chocolate. My sister provided me with a dark chocolate syrup that then can be turned into a drink. And so.
Chocolate was a mainstay for people. And because it didn't have the connotations like coffee of being a stimulant, even though chocolate we know today is a stimulant. And it was something that the whole family could have. They could give kids. And a lot of the images you'll see will be a family image where you'll see the kids and the parents together having the chocolate. So, yeah, I have a huge amount of chocolate trade cards. And
I'm going to have to stop by your booth at the Florida Antiquarian Book Fair and look for some of those chocolate trading cards, because that's that. Yes, absolutely.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing you there, because I think it's going to be a great fair. I think everybody is ready to be back in person and see and touch and feel the books and the ephemera. You know, I think in some ways our items lend themselves more to an eBay or a virtual auction or something like that, but nothing replaces the ability to pick up the book and open it and feel it and touch it. And the same with the ephemera. So I am so excited about being back in person.
And the other part of it, Barbara, I think, is that the experience of being there gives you the opportunity as a book lover or ephemera lover, gives you the opportunity to talk to knowledgeable people and
Right.
to learn about the particular thing you're interested in. So that's always been one of the fascinating things to me about what the book fair brings to the whole experience.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's, you know, that's how you learn, is talking to people and seeing something that you've never seen before and like, what's that? Or, you know, how was that? Or looking at a little pamphlet and saying, well, what does the bad child's prayer look like? You
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you, Barbara.
know?
We'll see
Okay,
you
thanks.
at the book fair,
All right, we'll see you at the book fair.
and I wanted to tell everyone that that we are doing this series of First Look, both in video, and you will see them in photos and captions, and you'll see them on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on our blog. So be on the lookout for that, and you'll get a good idea of some of the things that will be brought to the Florida Antiquarian Book Fair in April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So we'll see you at the book fair.